Hello everybody, welcome to a Destiny video where I'm going to be talking specifically about um, Vesper Host, because after having completed it once now, and having seen enough guides on it, some initial gameplay of other people playing and other people's experiences with it, I wanted to talk about it. I don't normally talk about dungeon related stuff other than like in the review of like an episode or a season. But this one is a little bit different because this is the first time we've ever had a contest mode. I'm fixing the area beneath my feet so I can stand here, and I'm realizing, oh, there it is. I had a couple of jars I was going to be using for something else. Not like jars, like tubs of plastic tubs I use for holding some things, like parts for like batteries and parts. But that's not besides the point. Vesper's Host is the most recent dungeon that came out in Destiny 2, and it is, to say the least, very divisive in terms of its reception, its meta, and in terms of everything involved with it. We're going to be playing some Gambit because, one, it's the thing I can play the most easily without necessarily having to actually focus super hard. It's very turn my brain off type thing and be able to talk without having to do necessarily full PvE. There's a little bit of PvP mixed in there. And plus, I can flex the fact that I have Dredgen 13. As I can show you here. Gambit's one of my favorite modes in the game, and a lot of people say, oh, Gambit sucks, blah, blah, blah. But I have Dredgen 13, and it's what makes, and this mode makes me happy. Regardless, that's beside the point. Vesper Host. In terms of the atmosphere and the overall environment of the dungeon, I absolutely love it. I was a huge fan of Deepstone Crypt. I always have been. I'm really happy to see that we're getting some more Deepstone Crypt themed stuff. And I haven't completed the main quest that's tied to it and all of the like proper lore. I'm kind of personally waiting to do more runs of it myself. I've only really done the one run with Lucent and Luke. Which, if you haven't already, go subscribe to them. They are, I believe, I don't know what Luke's Twitch is, if he uses Twitch, but I know Lucent's over on YouTube. But regardless, generally speaking, I really love the environment. I think it is a really amazing looking environment. Hell, just the initial load-in for Vesper Host has an amazing looking like supernova, and I think it looks gorgeous. And the idea of this sort of space station thing that we did with the Morning Star back in Deepstone kind of being meshed in with this weird amalgamate of stuff that we have in Vesper Host is really good. Lore-wise, again, there's a lot going on that I definitely might want to wait for Bike's video on, because I know he is making one soon. I'm definitely gonna wait on that, sort of give a proper speaking on it, but just overall what I'm hearing and seeing, good. A lot of good. The only real necessarily gripe I have with that is the environment does feel kind of maddeningly maze-like in certain places. It's not too bad. Mainly the little transitionary sections between encounters can feel a little bit confusing when you're first going through it. After the first or second run, it's fine. I've only done one run, but after watching multiple playthroughs of it and seeing people get lost, it does seem to be kind of up and downy, kind of with the whole environments and everything. As for the biggest thing, which is the loot, I haven't gotten much, unfortunately. The most loot I got out of this dungeon was I got the helmet, I got the boots, and I got the grenade launcher. From what I've seen of the rolls on these weapons, though, they seem to be very, very good, and I'm more or less looking for a god roll on that auto rifle and on that GL, the lightweight, the special GL. I do like I like the aerodynamic frames a lot. I think they're really useful for being good ad clear. A lot of people are saying like, oh, these things aren't that great and they shred, or like, oh, they don't even do the thing they're supposed to do. I think they're very good, like, right now with the artifacts having weaken as an ability. I think it's very nice to have like an easy burst type. Put this on an enemy, basically poor man's Witherhoard. But I still think it has a use with Attic Lair and making a crap load of orbs. I really was enjoying the stasis one on my Warlock. That was a really unfortunate spawn for him, by the way.
You can't blame him for trying.
And the obviously we got Icebreaker back. I was not lucky enough to get Icebreaker on my first run, which you didn't know. I did record and upload my first run. I should have a card probably on screen if it didn't already pop up, but it'll probably be a card on screen if I remember to do it. If not, it's recent enough that you could probably be able to find it. And even then, you just go to the my Destiny playlists towards the end. I know a lot of my videos for games are very compilation-y, but listen, man, I am too lazy to make a bunch of different playlists for stuff. But even then, I do have a playlist specifically now for all my videos where it is effectively my thoughts on X thing. So if you want all of the content related to that, there was playlists for that now. But we're getting off track. Importantly is... That was actually really nice. Importantly is going to be the encounters. There are a total of 3.5 encounters, I would say, because there is one encounter that is... Or there's one section that is basically a pre-encounter. I know it sounds very weird, but I would even say there's technically 4, even counting a bunch of them, because you have the opening encounter, which kind of teaches you the mechanics. You then have the actual first encounter, which is, again, kind of just giving you the idea of the mechanics of mastering the first 2 buffs. Then, after the first encounter, you have a starting section to the first boss. Then the second boss, the jumping puzzle to get to the third, and then third boss. The third boss, which I will basically leave as what it looks like if you haven't already seen the trailer for it, because it did get spoiled in the trailer, as to what it is. But if you haven't seen it, don't watch the trailer. But it is a variant of an enemy we've already seen before, which a lot of people are saying is lazy, but from what I've kind of gathered, it seems very interesting with what they're doing here. But overall, I think the bosses are very fun. I think the encounters are reasonably easy to do from the standpoint of trying to teach them. Because that's the big thing for me when it comes to doing anything related to this game nowadays, is I really want the encounters to be not easy, but I want them to be easily taught to someone who may not know what they're doing, or be at least easy to carry somebody through and have somebody do minimal to no work. Which isn't necessarily always the case with every single thing I do. I just like being able to have fun and help carry somebody through new content. And have them still be able to enjoy themselves to some degree. That's why I have such a sour opinion of Salvation's Edge, because it is very noob unfriendly for trying to teach players how to do it. It's very much, you need 4 people who know what they're doing, or 5 people who know what they're doing, and then bring in that one new person. I did a whole video on Salvation's Edge. Go watch it. But that being said, other things I would like to bring up are going to be specifically, again, the usage and update of the Deepstone Crypt buff mechanics. Operator, Suppressor, and Scanner are all work differently. Well, Operator, basically the same. All work differently with the exception of either they were updated or they work very differently from what they used to do. Suppressor is completely different, Scanner is completely different, but they all have a timer now. Basically, you don't have to hold on to it the entire time. And thankfully, you also don't need to, the entire time, force yourself to hold on to it, and then if you put it in the thing, no one else can stop you. Again, you kind of see us do it in my video, but there's a whole actual process of doing it, and it's very fun. But the biggest thing is the counters feel fresh and new, but also familiar enough to teach somebody who's done Deepstone Crypt. The biggest, and I mean the biggest thing that I have to give compliments to the Raid and Dungeon team is well, I guess it's depending on the Raid and Dungeon team, but the music choice for this dungeon is absolutely amazing. Everything feels very fast-paced. And the encounters while they are very, very easy to do, the ad density in them, oh, perfection. Beautiful. Tons of ads, absolutely brimming with stuff to be able to test your builds on. I would definitely say especially third encounter has so many ads it's almost too much. But second encounter, the second technically first boss, because the first encounter is not a boss encounter, it's just a sort of semi-opening encounter, or a puzzle encounter. But the first boss is absolutely a very fun concept, and I'm really happy to see it, and it is a limit to how well the Destiny engine can run on lower end PCs and consoles. Because, oh my frame rate when I was dragged into a boss checkpoint to help them clear it. Because it was two-manning it, and they wanted a third, and I was only able to help with the second encounter, and I only wanted to loot from the second encounter anyway, and I didn't get anything good anyway, so it doesn't matter. I got another pair of boots. That encounter is very fun. It is probably my favorite one because it is the most easily doable. I'd say it's the most solo-friendly encounter in the entire raid. Like, this thing seems like it almost feels easier 3-player than it does solo. Like, significantly easier 3-player. Like, it was designed for solo, and then they didn't balance it for 3-player at all. And then the biggest thing that I gotta talk about, absolutely biggest thing that I have to really mention, is overall just the puzzles. The puzzles with this dungeon alone, I haven't done many of them. I only did the first set essentially to get the week 1 permissions, the level 1 access code, which I think is in my inventory. It's not. If I show you here in my quest, I can actually show it through the rogue signal or rogue network. I have effectively the 3 messages. Obviously completed the first section. I basically did the first half, getting the first door. I haven't gotten to the door, but I have unlocked the first door. But that being said, I do really enjoy this place. From what I've heard, the icebreaker puzzle is a pain to the point where people would have a checkpoint for it, which, from what I've seen from Dado's guide on it and everyone's guide on it, yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm going to get a checkpoint when I get my icebreaker. Maybe I'll do it for someone else to at least experience it once, but I don't think I'll ever do it myself. I might just do it for the sake of a checkpoint. But, yeah, it's one of those. But, that being said, I do really like this dungeon. I want to say, ranking the dungeons in terms of an enjoyment level, I would say this is towards the top. I have to think of all the dungeons first of all. Pit's definitely at the bottom. Shadowthorn's at the bottom. Nothing against them. Just I don't find them very entertaining. I think they're kind of boring. Although Xeno Pit is fun. A Xeno run-on pit is very fun. So I'd probably say Shadow Throne, Pit of Heresy, Prophecy, Grasp. Actually, I'd probably just say Release Order, because realistically, the Release Order we've had of dungeons is basically the enjoyment level of all the dungeons for me. Except for maybe swapping Warlord's Ruin out for... Well, no, Warlord's Ruin came out after Ghosts. I'd say probably put, like, Spire the Watcher above Ghosts. That's the only thing I would do. Because I love Ghosts of the Deep, but I really like Spire the Watcher, because Rasputin and stuff. So, I have a little bit of bias towards that. But other than that, I'd say... difficulty-wise, I definitely will put it towards the top with, like, the launch difficulty of Spire and Ghosts. But I would not say it's also super easy, like, Prophecy or Grasp or anything like that. I would definitely say it's close to Launch, Duality, and Spire than it is something like Pit or Grasp. Pit can be hard because of that one encounter, but I'd say overall Pit probably really easy. I'd say on a difficulty scale of 1 to 10, I'd say it's like a 7. Like, reasonably difficult, but not impossible. For context, I would say the launch version of Ghost of the Deep and Spire and Duality, I would put it like 8, 9, because those, before they fixed a lot of the issues that were causing either one-shots or general plateaus in terms of issues. really made those harder. Like, Duality still has a couple issues with the bells, because of course it does. But it's fine. Other than that, though, again, solid dungeon. Really enjoying it. I'm definitely excited to get back into it more, whether it's with some clanmates. Maybe reason I didn't do it with clanmates is because, I'll be honest, my clan's been kind of, like, not dead, but it's been very low activity just because we've all been kind of burnt out. Is very much, a lot of us seem to be very, we're here for Final Shape, we're not going to be continuing on too much after that. Some of us have stuck around, myself included. I'm interested in seeing where the future of this franchise goes. Will I be 100% gung-ho on it come Frontiers? Probably not. I definitely will be consistently taking more breaks, basically when huge content drops, like each act of an episode or season. Because I guess we're going back to seasons in, what's it called? In Frontiers. Like, will I be there for the major story bits and, like, major updates? Yeah. Am I going to be there consistently throughout the entirety of the year making content and, like, GMs and stuff again? No. I like GMs. I do. I don't have a consistent team that much because, again, the team I usually do GMs and dungeons with has been, not MIA, but they've been very busy, and I don't want to force them to play the game if they're not available. Same reason why we haven't done many raid runs. I literally haven't done a raid. I haven't done a raid to completion since Salvations. So, yeah, and I have a whole thing when it comes to raids, and I want to do more, especially on stream. I did do a little bit of a Kingsfall raid on stream not too long ago, but never got to finish it. But that being said, I kind of want to talk a little bit more about just general content again. I know I always do content updates and stuff like that whenever I'm talking about something and I run out of stuff to do and I'm still playing the game. But this is basically here for those of you who stick around and watch my content every single day. I'm sorry that some of the content over the past week specifically has been very low effort, low energy. It's because I've been doing a mixture of work, stressing out about general life stuff, as well as our rent is going up again in November, and I have to try and keep up with that, as well as a job and doing this and managing life. So obviously I literally have been working on trying to get a house as well, so I can eventually move out and find my own place to live, so I can do things like use a more suiting voice for the model and everything, because I know I get comments all the time and I usually delete them, but I'm not saying they get to me, it just it annoys me to a point that's just like, why are you even bothering complaining about it if it's not really a thing? But I'm very self-conscious for the fact that I don't sound the way you expect them all to sound. Believe me, I don't like it either. But it's part of the reason is just because I'm not good at doing any form of like voice stuff that isn't like already available to me, you know? I just got killed by a Borealis in this time of our Lord. But I have been working on stuff on my own with whenever I am home alone. I usually try to record when I'm home alone, but sometimes I've just been not low energy or low effort. I've just been so low, like demotivated to do anything, but I think it's just because I'm in a lull when it comes to a lot of games right now. Like, Revenant came out and it was not necessarily bad, but it dropped all the content at once and I was expecting a little bit more, but then again, that's what happens when we ask for all the content at once. Black Ops 6 is literally, as of me recording this, a week away. Actually, as of this going up, it'll think it'll be a week away proper. And obviously I've been doing Alien Isolation. We just had the Xbox Partner Showcase, and I'm very excited. I don't want to do a video talking about it, but I'm definitely excited to do some of the videos on the games that were featured in that. Especially one that was revealed that I absolutely am going to hate because I'm doing it on Fox 10 with Evie. You know which one if you watched it. Because if you know me, you know there's a very specific genre of game that I despise that it involves water. You know exactly which one probably now. But Also, yeah, with also the Halloween month, I'm trying to do more horror games. I did the Resident Evil not too long ago. I plan on doing another episode of Limbo, hopefully finishing Limbo. As well as hopefully finishing, maybe not finishing, but doing another Outlast video, as well as the Halloween special that, again, I'm keeping a secret. We also have Fox Den doing some stuff. Obviously, every single day we're going to be trying to do more Fox Den stuff. Not every single day. We're going to be trying to do, whenever we're off, we're trying to do more Fox Den stuff. It's hard because, again, both myself and Evie have our own different lives that we live, so it's not necessarily the easiest to be able to get both of us into being able to record every single day, because sometimes I'm not have the motivation to do it, sometimes Evie doesn't, sometimes I get out of work and I just don't want to do anything. Whole mess of things, basically. But that being said, thank you guys for watching. Expect more content like this in the future. Yeah, most importantly, just be good people. I'm tired of seeing stuff all over the internet of people just being hateful and stuff for no reason. With the sort of decline of Twitter, I thought I'd bring this up as well, but the decline of Twitter, I will be still active on Twitter. My account is private, so forgive me for privating that. But if you want to get updates on anything that I'm doing, best place to do so would be Instagram /threads or over on Blue Sky. Link is in the description below. And also, again, Community Discord is probably the best place to get in touch with me outside of YouTube, other than the usual websites. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next video or live stream videos that I make. Have anybody, and most importantly, again, just stay safe and be good people.